What area can sit on the radiation?
Today's launch will be the 4th launch of ISRO this year. Now may I ask the curtain raiser for this video, for this launch mission to be played.
Project to control event number 4.
GSLV F-12 is the 15th flight of India's geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle GSLV and the 9th flight with indigenous cryo stage. This is the 6th operational flight of GSLV with indigenous cryogenic stage. The Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, IRNSS, with an operational name of NAVIC, stands for Navigation with Indian Constellation. It provides accurate real-time positioning and timing services over India and the region extending approximately 1500 kilometers around the Indian mainland. The variety of services offered by NAVIC aid in different applications like vehicle tracking and fleet management, location-based services integrated into mobile phones, terrestrial navigation aid for travelers, time dissemination, and more, including services to our strategic users. NAVIC consists of 3 segments: space, ground, and user. The space segment consists of base layer constellation of 7 satellites in GEO and GSO plane. NVS-1 satellite is the first of the 2nd generation navigation satellite series. NVS-1 is based on the standard I2K bus structure and has a mass of more than 2,200 kilograms. NVS-1 satellite has a navigation payload working in L1, L5 and S frequency bands. As compared to the 1st generation satellite series, the 2nd generation satellite series includes L1 navigation band and incorporates indigenously developed rubidium atomic clock. The inclusion of L1 navigation band improves the position, navigation and timing services for civilian users and also facilitates interoperability with other GNSS services. The NVS-1 satellite is designed for a mission life of about 12 years.
Minus 25 minutes.
The GSLV
Request
F-12
all
will
stations
place the
change over to
NVS-1
channel 2
satellite
at
into a
T-minus 24
geosynchronous
minutes.
transfer orbit.
No
It
confirmation
will
is
be
needed to
launched
control.
from the 2nd launch pad of Satish Dhawan Space Center, SHAR Sriharikota, the spaceport of India.
Dear friend, do you see this man? On the right is Ukrainian President Zelensky. His leadership in defending Ukraine has earned him comparisons to Winston Churchill. But the man standing on the left is as valuable as the best general Ukraine has in uniform. He runs the AI software company that's been Ukraine's secret weapon in its war against Russia. You see, while most people are focused on AI chatbots, there's been a quiet revolution happening in how we wage war. Experts are calling it the 3rd revolution in warfare. It's a new global arms race to see which country is going to lead the world over the next century. And that future is being decided right now in Ukraine, in real time. And it's not just being decided by Ukraine's brave soldiers, it's being decided by software, AI software. Weapons that used to be controlled by people have been outfitted with this AI software, and that's turned them into robots that use artificial intelligence to make kill decisions. AI has been Ukraine's secret weapon. They started the war using old Soviet-era weapons. Now they have one of the most technologically advanced armies on Earth. The result has been a revolution in warfare. And this revolution is going to change how all future wars are fought. Now here's what most people don't know quite yet. There's one small company at the center of this entire revolution. Its AI software is on the laptops of every Ukrainian decision maker in uniform. But few people outside of military circles seem to even know about it. Its stock is selling still for under $10 a share. In that way, it reminds me of another niche software maker, Autodesk. Autodesk shares rose 5,600% because they revolutionized how buildings were made. They did it by taking architecture from the drawing board to the computer screen. But for a long time, engineers and architects were the only people that even knew about this and understood its power at first. I believe the AI software firm I'm about to tell you about is on the verge of doing just that. In a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how this company's living software is changing warfare. I'm also going to tell you why I think most of Wall Street still hasn't caught on just yet. Most importantly, I'll explain how you can personally profit from it. In fact, if our numbers are correct and this imitates the success of Autodesk, this could be the biggest winner you've ever heard about. Once you know how this software works, you are going to understand why Ukraine, the US Army, our special forces, even our allies are rushing to get in on it. But first, it's important for you to know who I am and why I'm so confident about this unique opportunity. My name is Dylan Jovanet. I started my career on Wall Street in 1991, over 30 years ago. But I didn't start at an establishment firm like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan. I grew up poor. I went to City College. There was no big firm from Wall Street that was going to hire a guy like me. I was too much of an outsider. Thankfully, I got my big break from another Wall Street outsider, Peter Jaquith. He became famous. He's one of the bankers that became famous for saving New York City from bankruptcy in the 1970s. He started a boutique firm after leaving Lazard Frères & Company. It was an opportunity I wouldn't take for granted. I may not have had all the connections those other rich people did, but nobody was going to work harder than I did. Nobody. I managed accounts, but I fell in love with researching stocks. Studying a stock to me was like reading a short history book about the town the company was in, the people that worked there, the products they made. I mean, I loved it. I couldn't believe people got paid to do this. Within a few years, I earned a reputation for picking stocks right before they were taken over. Stocks like Paramount, which was bought out by Viacom 3 months after I recommended it for a 100% gain. Or the 70% gains we made when U.S. Reassurance was acquired about 6 months after I recommended it. Or the 78% gains we booked when Chase Manhattan Bank was taken over by Chemical Bank. Or the 83% profit we made when Michigan National Bank was acquired for $110 a share. Now remember, this is 1991, 1992, 1993. This is way before the internet bull market of the late 90s really hit. But there I am, this 23-year-old kid basically, picking takeover after takeover. By 1996, my clients bankrolled me to start my own brokerage firm. And that's how, at just 24 years old, I became one of the youngest people in American history to launch a registered broker-dealer and market maker. Our office was at 100 Wall Street, right on Wall and Water. Now, because of what I accomplished at such a young age, Wall Street took notice. But it wasn't until I predicted the 2008-2009 financial crisis and crash a year later that the general public took notice. That's when I was invited onto television to share my opinion. And my message was simple.
What I think they're starting to do is move away from inflationary concerns to concerns about the growth of the economy. So I think you're starting to see the messages change and the Fed to take a stronger easing posture to lower rates.
The stock market at 6,500 was like walking into your car dealership and everything is marked on sale 90% off. Or walking into your grocery store. Imagine walking into your grocery store and everything's marked 90% off. Like the 629% returns we booked after buying American Express at $14 a share. Or the 700% profits we booked when we bought Starbucks at $8 a share. Or the 459% profits we found recommending AutoNation between $10 and $11 a share. or the 235% gains that came from those who bought FactSet Research with us at $63 a share, or John Harlan, which was taken over 6 months after I recommended it, giving investors a 35% gain, or shares of K-Swiss, which gave my clients a 65% gain. And you remember Radio Shack? Investors had the opportunity to make 80% profits after the stock jumped from 16 to 29 after we recommended it. Or even the 40% gains we earned when Hilton Hotels was taken over. Now, I don't say all this to brag. Bragging's not what I do. It's not my style. I say it to show you that I've been making money for myself and my clients for close to 30 years. I know what I'm doing. And yet, as great as all the gains I just discussed with you were, I believe the opportunity with this AI software firm is fundamentally different. The Washington Post said it best. After seeing their AI software in action in Ukraine, they called it a revolution in warfare. And revolutions in warfare are rare. I mean, there have been 3. The invention of iron, the invention of gunpowder, and the invention of the atom bomb or nuclear weapons. Only 3 before this. That's why you have an opportunity to earn a 5,600% return on this investment. Which brings us to today. How does the ex-CEO of a Wall Street firm get involved in the most advanced weapon of war since the atom bomb? Because history is my first love. I've dedicated my life to it. I've spent decades studying the collapse of the Roman Empire alone. I wanted to know how it happened. Did the people know it was coming? What were the signs? Could they have done anything different to stop it? And most importantly, could the same thing happen to the United States? Right around that time, I read an ancient book called The Peloponnesian War. It was written by an Athenian general named Thucydides in 431 BC. Though the book was 2,500 years old, it had so many answers that I was looking for. But one in particular that really struck me. He has a theory called the Thucydides trap. That's what it's called now.